Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Nate's Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nate's Denise for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happen to stumble across this video. And this video, as the title says, is going to be my August Book of the Month unboxing. Now, for those of you who don't know what Book of the Month is basically an online book subscription in which you can get one brand new hardcover copy of a book, whether it's an early release, a debut novel, or a backlist novel, or just a special edition from Book of the Month. And their hardcovers are very different from other hardcovers because they are much larger and the font is a lot larger, but I don't mind it. I enjoy Book of the Month. They used to have Book of the Month YA, which had more of your like young adult fantasy reads. They, for some reason, canceled that and decided to put Book of the Month YA back with Book of the Month. So basically the way it works is you pay $14.99 for 1 credit, and that 1 credit gets you any hardcover book. It doesn't matter how big or small the book is, you get 1 book. And you have the choice to add 2 additional books on for $10 a piece. So you're paying pretty much about $37 if you include taxes in that for 3 hardcover books, which is a steal because most of the times 1 hardcover is like $28, okay? So $15 for 1 book is great, and then you can get, like I said, 2 additional books for $10 a piece. So I personally love that. You guys have probably seen my Book of the Month shelf. I have since then reorganized all of my books, so all my Book of the Month books are actually on their respective shelves. But I adore Book of the Month. Their books are awesome. And yeah, so this month for August, I wasn't gonna pick a book just because I didn't care for the options, but I noticed that they now have a new option where basically, let me just lay it out for you before I even get into the book that I have. So basically what it is they pick 5 books for that month, which is called Book of the Month. They pick 5 books from various genres. Most of the time you definitely have a historical fiction, you have a thriller, you might have a sci-fi, you might have a fantasy, you might have a young adult, a romance, a nonfiction. Whatever the case, they pick 5 books for that month, which are the Book of the Month, and you pick one of those 5. They do have an option now where if you don't want to select one of those 5, they then allow you to pick one of the other 5 books from their like members favorite section, so you're not missing out. Because I know previously, before, if you didn't pick a Book of the Month for that month, you couldn't get any other books, including the add-ons. And I feel like they need to still change up their system. They need to make it where you are able to get any of the add-ons without picking a Book of the Month if you prefer, just because not a lot of the times do I enjoy the Book of the Month, or do I care for the members favorites, especially since I have majority of the favorites pretty much. Now for me, I am more so a fantasy reader. I love my young adults, I love my romances, but I'm very picky with my contemporary romances. So pretty much I almost just about own all of their fantasy books that I care for. And then their YA, it's not that huge, but most of them I already own. So there wasn't a lot of books that I really wanted. I think right now left on the website there's probably like 3 other books I want. 3 or 4. I know 3 of them are YAs and 1 is an adult, but not many of them do I care for. Okay, so here is my Book of the Month box. I have 3 books in here. I did go with 3 books for this month. I picked one of the member favorites, and then I picked 2 YAs. One was an add-on for the month, and then another one was a backlist from last month that I really wanted to get, and I'm glad I went with both of them. But yeah, so it comes in a blue box. So we're just gonna go right into this. I already have my scissors. So okay, so one thing I noticed is they did not have mine wrapped. I don't know if that's a new thing. Normally it comes wrapped up. My books were not wrapped for this month, so that's weird. But I'm not going to show that because that's not my Book of the Month. But that cover is pretty. Okay, so yeah, this is so weird. Normally they have it come wrapped in like this, I don't want to say saran wrap, but I call it saran wrap. It's normally wrapped up in saran wrap, but this time it was not. I don't know if that's something new that they're doing or whatever, but I do have my Book of the Month bookmark. It is white and it just says hold that thought. I really do love their bookmarks. I use them, I laminate them, so they're great. So the Book of the Month that I went with for this month is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I know that Riley Sager is definitely, I think, a 4-peat author because they have 4 books on Book of the Month, and of the 4 there, this was, I believe, the highest rated one, and I know a lot of people are raving about this book right now. This is a thriller, mystery, something like that. I don't really know, honestly. I just know it's a genre I don't normally read. I don't read thrillers, I don't read mysteries, I don't read suspenses like that, or horror for that least. So of the 4 options, this was the one that I decided to go with because it had the highest ratings. So we have this. I'll read what it says. It says, bells that ring themselves, record players that turn on and play music to empty rooms, ghosts that climb out of wardrobes. Okay. Maggie Holt doesn't believe in these things, even though they are the details of the story that made her family famous. 25 years ago, she and her parents, Ewan, I think that's how you say that name, Ewan and Jess, moved into Banbury Hall, a rambling Victorian estate in Vermont woods. They spent 20 days there before fleeing in the dead of night, an ordeal Ewan later recounted in a horror memoir, House of Horrors. His tale of ghostly happenings and encounters with the malevolent spirits became a worldwide phenomenon, rivaling the Amityville horror in popularity and skepticism. Maggie has lived her life in the shadow of her father's book, so when she inherits Banbury Hall after his death, she returns to renovate the house to prepare it for sale. However, her homecoming is anything but warm. People from the past, chronicled in House of Horrors, lurk in the shadows, and the locals aren't thrilled that their small town has been made infamous thanks to Maggie's father. Even more unnerving is Banbury Hall itself, a place filled with relics from another era that hint at a history of dark deeds. As Maggie experiences strange occurrences straight out of Ewan's book, she starts to wonder if what he wrote was more fact than fiction. Alternating between Maggie's uneasy homecoming and chapters from her father's book, Home Before Dark is the story of a house with long-buried secrets and a woman's quest to uncover them, even if the truth is far more terrifying than haunting. Alright, this book itself retails for $27, okay? So, I mean, I only paid $15 for it. But, yeah, it sounds quite interesting. So, here is the Book of the Month logo up here on the spine and on the back. And then their books are always dual-toned. So you have green and black with Book of the Month there, and also on the spine. I don't know how I feel about this book. Like I said, I'm not really into horrors. That is not my genre at all. So if I do like this, I will try out Riley Sager's other books because they are on Book of the Month. So we have that. Next book I have is a YA. This is actually based off of Hindu mythology, and this is actually an add-on for this month. It's called Star Daughter by Shveta Sakar. I'm probably saying this wrong. I don't want to butcher it. First of all, can we talk about this cover? She is gorgeous. But what I know from this, when I looked it up, is that this is based off of Hindu mythology. That is all. That's all I cared for. But I am going to read the inside flap. So it says, if the night sky holds many secrets, it holds Shatal Mystery's secret the closest. A secret that explains why her hair is the silver of starlight, or why some nights the stars call Shatal by name. Stars, like her mother, who returned to her place in the constellation Pushya years ago. Since that day, Shatal has been forced to hide. But as her 17th birthday draws near, the pull from the sky is growing stronger. So strong that Shatal, I think that's how you say that, loses control, and a flare of starfire burns her human father, an injury only a full star's blood can heal. Shatal has no choice but to answer the star song and ascend to the sky, but her celestial family has summoned her for a reason, to act as their human champion in the competition to decide the next ruling house of the heavens. Desperate to save her father, Shatal agrees, but nothing could have prepared Shatal to face the star's dark history or the forces that are working to shut the gate between the realms for good. That sounds epic. I love this cover so much, and I know that if you buy the actual like non-Book of the Month edition, it might be even prettier. I wonder if there's like foiling, but I love it. But Book of the Month logo here, spine on the back. The book is going to be black and mustard yellow. Spine has Book of the Month here. Are there any nice headers? Is there a map, first of all? No map. That hurts. I wish there was a map. Little pretty headers look like that though. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, what's this? Okay. Well, there we have it. Star Daughter by that author. The last YA that I got is actually going to be based off of Persian mythology, and if I'm not mistaken, this is based on the story of the girl with a poisonous touch. But it's Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashrados. Yep, I'm probably saying that name wrong. But sometimes the princess is the monster. And again, book snakes. Book snakes are book snakes. But I love the florals. I like that. So Book of the Month logo here, here, on the back. I like this color, the gray with the green, and then on the spine. That's nice. But again, like I said, all I know is that this is based on Persian mythology. So on the inside it says, there was and there was not. As all story begins, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch. But for Soraya, I think that's say her name, Soraya, who has lived her life hidden away apart from her family, safe only in her gardens, it's not just a story. As the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, Soraya must decide if she's willing to step outside the shadows for the first time. Below in the dungeon is a demon who holds the knowledge she craves, the answer to her freedom. Above is a young man who isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger not with fear but with an understanding of who she is beneath the poison. Soraya thought she knew her place in the world, but when her choices lead to consequences she never imagined, she begins to question who she is and who she is becoming, human or demon, princess or monster. So I've heard mixed reviews about this. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I wasn't going to get it, but it is based on Persian mythology, and I heard that this has LGBTQIA rep in it, so I'm excited to get into it. It's YA fantasy. So those were my 3 picks, you guys. Let me just grab them for August. And here we go, my August picks. I'm super excited for these. I definitely will be reading these hopefully soon, fingers crossed. I'm probably gonna save Home Before Dark for October, possibly. I definitely want to read Star Daughter soon, and the Girl Serpent Thorn, right? Yeah, but those are my picks. I'm not sure about September. We'll see how I feel come September. Hopefully their actual picks are great and I'll go with a pick. If not, I'll go with a member's favorite. But if I do have to go with another member's favorite, I'll probably just pick another Riley Sager book. So yeah, that is it. If you are interested in signing up for book of the month, link is down below. If you do use my link, then I get a credit as well as you get a credit for a book, so it does help me get free books. But other than that, that is it for this video. If you have read any of these books, let me know down below. I'm interested in seeing your reviews or your videos, and I'll chat with you guys in the next video. Bye.